Hello and welcome to Oops I Dug Down. My name's Jax and today we will be building a LA styled mansion. Alright, so here are the materials you're going to need for today's build. First we're going to make a perimeter for the building itself. We are now going to fill in this perimeter with the white concrete just to help provide a base for the building itself. This also helps me make sure that the door is lined up with the floor. For this first part of the wall, we're going to make it probably 5 blocks far. We're also going to do 5 blocks on this side, starting from the corner. So it's 5 blocks including the corner. Alright, and we're also going to do the same on this side. However, we're going to take this wall all the way back. Like so. And then also 5 blocks on this side. Alright, now we're going to take that another 5 blocks up. Now, before we continue, I am going to take out the blocks in the middle of the perimeter and replace it with the spruce planks. While doing the flooring, I did decide that I wanted to take out some of this back wall. I did also make 2 more walls 5 blocks away from the corners, but kept the middle part open. The next step would be putting in the tinted glass. I am most likely going to be putting glass everywhere that there is not a wall currently. I did decide that I was going to change the corners right here. I'm still going to have glass along here, but I want these 3 blocks gray concrete. We're going to move on to the second floor. Before we start that though, we're going to put a white concrete block around the entire top of the building. This middle section here in the front is going to be the gray concrete. And then we're going to fill in the second floor with the spruce panels. Now that the flooring for the second floor is done, we're going to move on to the walls. I am going to use the concrete for a lot of the side walls, except for maybe on the right side of this house. I believe it will add some contrast to what we already have. My first step is to bring back the first wall here, so that there's some sort of balcony coming back. So we're gonna bring this probably about 5 blocks forward, and do that on the other side as well. We're also going to bring it 2 blocks inwards, and then fill it inside with glass, as well as the same thing on the other side. On the left side of the build, we're going to bring it back about 10 blocks and then have about 5 blocks. Actually, we'll have it 3 blocks on the back side as well. On the right side, we're going to bring it back 10 blocks as well, and then we're going to switch over to the white concrete. And we're going to do the 3 blocks on this side. And just like the first floor, we're going to make it 6 blocks high in total. For the back of this one, we're going to count in 10 blocks on both sides and just fill in the center. Next step would just be to fill in the tinted glass. Once the glass is done, we're going to make sure that there's doors onto the patios, and then we're going to use just a regular glass pane and put it on the perimeter or just the outside of this white to create a little barrier. Once that's done, we're going to complete the roof and a little area on the roof as well. When doing the roof, we're going to use the black concrete all the way around as well as filling in the top with the black concrete. But before I do that, I want to make a little overhang so that there's a little shade on top of this part. Once you've filled in the roof, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little pavilion, probably using different blocks. I might use a wall, one of the darker walls like a black stone wall, or actually we'll use the polished black stone wall, and then I'm also going to grab a smooth quartz slab, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that in just a bit. Before I use the wall, I am going to use glass to outline the top of the perimeter up here. Here is how the building is looking so far. To start the pavilion, we're going to go all the way back and kind of just estimate where we want to put the walls for it. I'll probably put it a block away from the glass panes though, just to make sure that they're not connected. I'm then going to take it all the way to the other side of the roof. Then I'm going to count probably 10 blocks forward to make the perimeter of the pavilion. And then I'm going to make the pavilion itself about 5 blocks high. And then I'm also going to use a polished blackstone brick slab for the top of the pavilion. Actually, we're going to use the black concrete or gray concrete for the top of the pavilion, just because I want to use daylight sensors to make the lights turn on when it's nighttime. For the daylight sensors, you're going to need a redstone lamp as well as the daylight sensor itself. My next step is to count how long I made this pavilion, just to make sure the daylight sensors are spaced out evenly. Originally, I had decided to put the daylight sensors on the 4th block in, but I decided instead to do the 3rd block, or count 3 blocks in, so it would technically be the 4th block in, and then it's 7 blocks, the 7th block from the edge. What the daylight sensor will do is, once you make sure the sensor itself is blue, it'll turn on when it's nighttime. I'm also going to do this to the roof of where the patios are on the 2nd floor. For those sensors, I chose to do 2 blocks in from the glass panels, so technically 4 blocks in from the edge, and then right next to the glass panel, just to make sure the actual balcony is illuminated. to take the smooth quartz slab and take it around all the perimeters, the top half of the block on both the first and second floor. As of right now, the exterior of your mansion should look like this. It is very open. We are going to be adding some lighting and rooms on the inside, as well as changing the front flooring and adding a pool. Since I wanted to finish the exterior before I started working on the interior, we're going to start with the pool now. I am going to use the smooth quartz block to change the flooring, and as well as use it for the pool itself. I'm also going to grab the smooth quartz stairs as well. I decided I wanted to make the pool square, so I did a 15 by 15 perimeter and decided I wanted to dig down about 3 blocks. I did also dig 1 block down further than the 3 just to replace it with the quartz block. You do also want to make sure that you replace the walls of the pool with the quartz block as well. Once that's done, what you'll want to do is add some of the water, but there is a little tip. If you add a block below, like fill in a block below where you want to add the water, and then fill in the water, it'll make it easier to fill the entire area. Once you're done filling in that top layer, as soon as you remove these blocks, it'll fill in everything below it. And there you go, you have your pool. I am going to extend this out just a little bit, actually all the way as far as I can. After the pool and everything is done, we're going to move to the inside. We're going to add some lighting, maybe some rooms. I might just leave it an open space, and if you decide to create this, leave it up to you. I might even just leave the lights and just add the stairs for right now. Yeah, we'll do that. So I'll add a light here just so I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to put the stairs on this back wall. I am just going to use quartz blocks, but we're probably going to start from this block right here and go every other block on the bottom all the way up. I am most likely going to make sure that there's 2 blocks like this so that I can actually add end rods on the underside of. Create a little bit more of a floating look, but also illuminate the inside just a little bit. And then of course you do gotta make sure that you can get up to the top. So we're gonna clear out these blocks here. I just accidentally broke a glass. Here we go. And there you go at the top. We're gonna do the same level on this floor. Leading to the roof. I am going to add some interior walls, especially on the second floor. Now for this first floor, I'm probably only going to do half walls. Keep it open and kind of do like a living room, dining room type situation. So I'm just going to put a half wall here and have it extend this way a little bit. And then I'm going to leave the rest open. The lights, I'll do the polished black stone wall with end rod, and I'm going to put one here, and then the light right in the middle, just like that. Alright, I'm going to do a couple of those around the entire building. For the upstairs middle part and above the half wall, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use chains and hang them from the ceiling at different levels. It'll create an interesting look and illuminate the walls as well. All right, and there's that. Now the last step is to add doors. You can just use a regular door, but you could also make it by using panes of glass and going every other with a spruce fence in the middle as handles like so. It usually works better when you have glass panes instead of just regular glass. What I'm going to use is another add-on that I have, this one to be exact. It is a security add-on, so you do have, you know, cameras and all that stuff that you could use, but I like this door. Place it and crouch. You can actually make it automatic so it opens when you walk in instead of having to click it every time. I'm going to add these on the second floor. And then I do want to add dark oak doors on the interior. And there you go. There's your mansion. Thank you for watching. I hope I see you next video.